Big Daddies are Bioshock. What do I mean by that? They are arguably the most recognizable thing that comes from the Bioshock franchise. Besides Little Sisters, I would put them at a very close first and second. We've seen Big Daddies all throughout Bioshock 1. We were one and saw them all throughout Bioshock 2. And they even seep their way into Infinite as well. And that also has hit pop culture, mainstream media as well with various cartoons, etc. So, what makes these creatures so unique? Well, first off, their appearance. All you have to do is just look at them, listen to them, and look at how they protect the little sisters. And second, we're going to dive into a deeper history of these certain creatures. So with that being said, what is going on, guys? My name's Eric, and welcome back to a brand new video here on the Bioshock Hub. If you guys enjoy the Big Daddy, then this video is going to be a very, very special one for you guys. So with that being said, sit back, relax, and I hope you guys enjoy the history of the Big Daddy. Big Daddies are genetically enhanced human beings who have had their skin and organs grafted into an enormous diving suit, with Alpha Series being an apparent exception to the grafting process, though still heavily spliced. Their primary purpose is to protect little sisters while they escort them around Rapture. If all of the little sisters have either been harvested or saved in a level, Big Daddies will wander to a vent like usual and bang on it. However, a little sister will not come out, causing the Big Daddies to groan in frustration, and bang again on the vent, letting out a sad moan and walking away in an attempt to find another little sister. Aside from the Alpha Series, Big Daddies communicate by uttering haunting sounds similar to that of whale calls. Alpha Series communicate with low, inhuman grunts and roars. For easier interpretation, production model Big Daddies have a bioluminescent chemical substance which filled the helmet, displaying its state of emotion or mind. The Big Daddy has 3 different colors in which he will display. Green indicates that the Big Daddy is hypnotized and friendly. Yellow indicates awareness, but indifference to his environment. However, he will react to people near him by shoving them away from him and the little sisters. And then red indicates rage towards assailants. The surviving Alpha Series from Bioshock 2 are in permanent state of wrath due to prolonged separation from their little sisters. This excludes Subject Delta and Sigma, owing their own unique circumstances. Big Daddies were originally created by Dr. Yi Suchong to serve as Rapture's maintenance workers, to help in later construction projects, and to do the work of Rapture that was not profitable. Rosies riveted panels and windows, while bouncers drilled deep-sea rocks for expansion of the city of Rapture. As the demand for Adam increased and could not be met from the method used with the available little sisters, Suchong proposed the idea of recycling the raw genetic material directly from the corpses of dead splicers, instead of exclusively producing it with the little sisters in their laboratories. With the genetically modified girls at great risk when out on the streets, gathering Adam on their own, the quote-unquote Protector program was initiated to bond them with the hulking Big Daddies, turning the latter into protectors who would respond aggressively to any threat encountered by the Gatherers, aka the Little Sisters. Suchong suggested this idea to Andrew Ryan, knowing that becoming a Big Daddy was a quote-unquote one-way street, but he fretted about being able to find suitable candidates. Ryan gave assurances that it would not be a problem. Although the true identities of the candidates were unknown, many were exiled criminals, the criminally insane, and politically dissidents imprisoned in Persephone, which was under the management of Sinclair Solutions. Augustus Sinclair had already been contracting prisoners out to Fontaine, and later to Ryan Industries, for test subjects in the research labs of Point Prometheus and at Fontaine Futuristics. Candidates from the Rapture family in the prison were selected by Dr. Sophia Lamb, imprisoned at Persephone herself at that time, and acting as a psychiatrist for the inmates to curry favor, sending members of her own following for conversion. Experiments were conducted by Dr. Gilbert Alexander in the research laboratories of Fontaine Futuristics. The first Protector prototypes bonded to the Little Sisters were called the Alpha Series, previous plasmid test subjects from Sinclair Solutions. Alexander took inspiration from a common nickname for the Protector program candidates, quote-unquote Big Daddies, and engineered a conditional bond between the Protectors, and their charges would mimic, through mental and physical restraints, the emotional bond between a father and his daughter, otherwise known as the pair bond. This bond ensured that the Protectors would guard their charges at all times and not wander away from the girls, otherwise they would slip into a coma. After many unsuccessful attempts, the first candidate from the Protector program to be successfully pair bonded was Subject Delta, a deep-sea diver formerly known as Johnny Topside, who had discovered and entered the city by accident. In a short time, the Alpha series failed to be practical as Protectors. They only protected a single specific little sister, and if they were lost to the Splicers or rescued by Dr. Bridget Tenenbaum, that rendered the Protectors useless, sending them into a coma or making them suicidally aggressive, and even after being reprogrammed, they were only usable as mere foot soldiers. With these unsuccessful results, the Alpha series was ended. The remaining Alpha series models were deactivated and in the following years kept in holding at Fontaine Futuristics, Minerva's Den, and Persephone. Regardless of his colleagues' progression, Suchong was also working on a bond of his own creation, without success. When Jeremiah Fink, an industrial tycoon from Columbia's reality, who previously used trans-dimensional tears to steal Rapture's technological advancements, worked on his own kind of Protector based off of Suchong's work, the Songbird, he also found himself at an impasse when trying to bond the creature to a single child, Elizabeth. He contacted Suchong in 1958 through its hair, and the scientist was actively studying at the former Silverfin restaurant in Fontaine's department store, and they both came to the agreement of sharing their research in order to reach their mutual objective. However, Songbird accidentally bonded itself to its test subject, and Fink chose to put an end to his partnership, eventually closing his imprinting studies lab at Fink Manufacturing. Suchong, who got the short end of the bargain, was still looking for the solution in genetic capability. Using the Lutece device still left in his possession, he intended to steal a DNA sample of Fink's bonded test subject. His research was put on hold when the city council closed the department store, turning it into a prison for Fontaine's criminal gang. His tear device was eventually damaged by vandals, but could still be remotely controlled from his clinic and secret laboratory at Artemis Suites, Apollo Square. On December 31st, Suchong finally acquired the DNA sample from Elizabeth herself, ironically unknown to him, the same test subject who once bonded to Songbird, who had successfully repaired the trans-dimensional device and gone to Columbia to recover a Lutece particle. 2 weeks later, the Civil War, initiated by the bombing of the Kashmir restaurant's New Year's Eve masquerade ball, led to a panic, bank crash, and an atom shortage as citizens spliced heavily in to protect themselves. This brought the need for functioning Protectors more important now than ever. Suchong's attempted genetic bonding method proved a failure. His protection bond frustrated when the Big Daddies kept ignoring the girls. A solution became evident when the hulking creatures started caring for the girls when they provided raw atom for them to survive. With help from Elizabeth, a bouncer bonded this way to two little sisters in Suchong's own laboratory. He failed to notice the change of behavior in the Protector and carelessly slapped one of the two little sisters out of frustration during a recording of his own failed results. This triggered the aggressive response of the bouncer, who then impaled Suchong with his drill to the scientist's own desk. The bond had worked at the cost of Suchong's life. Breakthroughs led to the bonding of Bouncer and Rosie Big Daddies to Little Sisters, where pheromones were used to make the little girls attracted to the Big Daddies and not be afraid of them as they had been previously. With the bonding system now working, the pairs were deployed into the public spaces of Rapture. The Memorial Museum at Point Prometheus was changed to the Proving Grounds and used for Big Daddy training. As the Big Daddies and Little Sisters were sent out onto the streets of Rapture, citizens responded to them in different ways. Many were met with disgust. The Big Daddies' intimidating appearance and aggressive conditioning caused fear among the populace and resulted in several unfortunate accidents. Confrontations with splicers and well-meaning citizens prompted Andrew Ryan to broadcast public address announcements to warn against approaching the Big Daddies and Little Sisters. Ryan tried to combat public dislike of the Protector program by having the Big Daddies described as knights in shining armor, created to protect Rapture against the parasites. As the violence on the streets became more extreme, elite versions of the Bouncer and Rosie were created to help defend Little Sisters in the more dangerous areas of the city. Ryan even commissioned a third model of Protector to be created by Rapture Central Computing, using the help of the Thinker. And so, the Lancer, considered to be the most advanced Big Daddy so far, was created along with the new ion laser weapon. Despite the new Protector being finished, it never left Minerva's den, as Reed Wall sealed off the entire facility from the rest of Rapture. By the end of the Civil War in 1960, many Big Daddies had fallen to the attacks of Splicers and Atlas's rebels and littered the corridors of Rapture. However, more remained active, roaming from one vent to another to call on Little Sisters to start another cycle of gathering. Years after the death of Andrew Ryan and after Sophia Lamb took control, Atom gathering continued until the remaining Little Sisters in Rapture were too old to be able to process the raw genetic material. The remaining Big Daddies continued to maintain the city in a viable state, as per their original design. The older sisters were then turned into Big Sisters by Dr. Alexander, one of the few remaining scientists at Fontaine Futuristics. He conditioned them as enforcers and provided them with diving suit gear similar to those of Big Daddies, producing a new fear for the Splicers. In 1967, Lamb, requiring new Little Sisters and the atom they produced, sent Big Sisters out to kidnap girls from the surface. Evolution of Splicers over the years made them more effective in ambushing Big Daddies. This forced Alexander to create a new model of Protector, designed to effectively dispatch larger groups of enemies, called the Rumbler. In 1968, Bridget Tenenbaum returned to Rapture to free the new Little Sisters, foiling Lamb's plan of perfecting her utopia, and to find a cure for Adam. With the help of Lamb's daughter and former little sister, Eleanor Lamb, and the artificial intelligence still monitoring the city's automation, the Thinker, she reactivated two Alpha series, Subject Delta, Eleanor's former pair-bonded protector, and Subject Sigma, previously Charles Milton Porter, the initial creator of the Thinker. Both Alpha series regained part of their humanity and free will, which helped them complete their own objectives. Delta, guided by Sinclair, and Sigma, by the Thinker, who was impersonating Porter. Their opponents, a genetically mutated and insane Alexander, Sophia Lamb, and Reed Wall, reactivated other broken Alpha series and used them as soldiers to stop the rogue Protectors. The last known Alpha series created was Sinclair, Subject Omega, done by Sophia Lamb to fight Delta as part of her escape plan, which failed. From the time of its founding, maintenance of Rapture required trained divers and reinforced suits to walk outside the city along the seafloor to repair leaks and reinforce the city's structure. By the time of the Protector program's tests, certain former citizens of Rapture had been genetically altered with Adam and permanently sealed inside these special diving suits to become what were eventually called Big Daddies. They were genetically modified and conditioned in the research labs and facilities of Point Prometheus. Protector training was eventually done in proving grounds. The candidates for induction into the Protector program went through voice box modification and pheromone application, which attracted the Little Sisters to the Big Daddies. After those, the candidates' skin and organs were grafted into the suit, thus becoming one functional unit. The subjects were then placed in large vats of an unknown yellow substance and eventually reduced to mindless servitors. Through genetic splicing, the humans inside the heavy suits were given enhanced strength and agility. Their suit exoskeletons contained the life support machinery needed to keep them alive during their duties, to allow a Big Daddy to lift heavy weights and do other strenuous tasks, and to help resist the cold and the pressure of the deep ocean. In Bioshock, Bioshock 2, and Burial at Sea, Big Daddies can be seen doing maintenance repairs both inside and outside in the ocean. Big Daddies were also programmed to periodically return to facilities like Hephaestus for routine maintenance checkups. So guys, that's going to do it for the history of the Big Daddy. I do hope you guys enjoyed it because this, in my opinion, is one of my favorite episodes that I've done. But before I go a little bit more in depth about that, since there are 5 different types of Big Daddy models, if you guys want to see a video dedicated to all 5 different types, let me know down in the comment section below and I will work on that for you guys. But as I was mentioning, this is my favorite episode that I've done in terms of the Bioshock lore series that I have ongoing on my channel. Just simply for the fact that the Big Daddies are my favorite video game character out of any game that I've played. And I'm not saying like a main character, I'm saying a character out of a video game. So that doesn't include things like, let's say, Booker DeWitt, Jack, or Subject Delta or anything like that. I'm just saying a general character from a series. The Big Daddy is hands down my favorite. So to be able to go in depth and do research in terms of the backstory of the Big Daddies, it was so much fun to do, and I'm so proud to put this video together for you guys, and I hope you guys really did enjoy it. So if you did, would you kindly drop a like? If not, drop a dislike. Just let me know what I can do to make the video better for you guys, and I will try to work on that as much as possible going forward. Other than that, if you're new and want to join the Rapture family or see the Rapture family grow, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, share the content with some family and friends, and turn on notifications. That way you guys get notified when I go live in terms of live streaming or when a video goes public, in case YouTube doesn't want to send out videos to sub boxes. Other than that, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter or go check out my second channel, you can do so by going down in the description and following me on Twitter there, or going to my channel and going to the sub box and seeing my second channel at the top of that. So anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and with that being said, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Take care and have a great day, guys. See ya.